So FP1, FP2 are out of there. We got them in the books. Definitely some different things going on there. Trying some different drivers in there as the teams are supposed to, but they don't have to basically do them when they're like told to. They just have to do them in some part of the season. So we'll see what other teams do that. Do not forget, we will be here tomorrow for qualifying for the live watch along. And I have a special announcement that we'll post before the live actually starts in the trailer. And it will run again going forward for a finale lap, which is something that I have chosen that we will do as a collective, as a Wolfpack family, to do some things out here. So I will announce that tomorrow as well. Also, big shout out to all the members that have upgraded. I will mention you all by name tomorrow. Make sure I will make these notes to do so. Mention you all by name because there are several members of the channel that have leveled up, and you level up longer you're with the channel, your icon badges change, all this other good stuff. Plus, we now have the Wolves Den, and this will be a VIP exclusive members access only panel where members will visually and audio will be able to come into a platform, have conversation with me, with each other, and also guests will be invited there for you to be able to ask questions. Unlike when you have and you get to see the YouTube videos for the podcast episode, you all don't get to ask those questions directly. Here you will be able to ask those questions directly. But let's get into the sauce for the cost, and that's these updates and upgrades, and still probably going on. We already know that Ferrari is taking a grid penalty, and I had spoke to that earlier before in the season as things started mounting, which tomorrow I probably will go over the PUE list. But let's go into these updates and upgrades, look at what kind of good things and goodies they got for us. We'll see about that. All right, so first coming up here, we do have Mercedes on the list. All right, Mercedes has done some different things. Now, this is not technically on their upgrade list, but you know, it is something that definitely was noticed that's different, and these nostrils in the front to bring in more cool air for the drivers. But I'm not so that's the only reason they've done it like this. It could also be some aerodynamics mixed in there, as they have also kind of changed up the airflow that is going to go across this nose and the front wing section. But for majority of their upgrades, which is not many, and I'll let you see that picture while I also read these off, is the floor edge to reduce local floor load, also front corner, which improves how the brake disc cooling. All right, so to improve that exit air coming through that brake duct is what you will see right there in that general area. Now, keep in mind, I wasn't able to probably get all pictures of all specific upgrades, so some of the arrows will point in general areas where these upgrades should be, if not directly where they are. Okay, so just keep in mind that is the case. Just trying to bring you as much information I can for us to have some interaction, to have a good time, and try to see visually what these cars are doing and how they're evolving through the season, right? Mercedes was doing horrible at first. Now they're not doing so bad. Their cars coming along. Although I would like to speak to Haas. Haas, one of the teams that haven't pretty much brought any real upgrades aside for the little things we'll go over, which to me isn't even an upgrade, but you know, it's more like an update. And they are doing considerably well given their performance last season. I'm really surprised by that. So let's go to the next team, and that is Red Bull after this. And also, they had a rear floor edge, which reduces the low floor load. So a new rear reduced curvature floor edge just in front of that rear tire. So that would be that area back there. And then also I would like to speak to Mercedes fence section up on the front area of their floor. Their fences don't look like many of the other teams. Okay, like you can kind of see how other teams may have adopted the Red Bull fence. And Mercedes just looks different, just like the rest of their car is different. Williams abandoned this slim down side pod look. A lot of people weren't really paying attention that Williams also had a slim down side pod because Mercedes is the shit hot team on the grid up until this season, which they kind of died back some given the new regs and regulations, and this car was not cooperating. But their fences look different as well. So with them getting a handle on this car, it's going to be quite interesting to see how they move forward in the rest of the season and even 2023. Okay, so next, we will get into Red Bull. Red Bull floor fences. All right, layout change, redistribute, local pressure. They also have rear corner, a revision to the upper winglet cascade to gain local load. All right, not much for Red Bull either. About 2-3 upgrades or updates or changes. There was a team like Williams that, and still this team didn't even have as many upgrades as Williams had, but we will give the winner of the upgrades Galore trophy. Ferrari, some interesting changes right there to their floor. You will see floor body improving the overall aerodynamics and performance. And you can see right here in this area is a little bit more boot squared up. Now it's a little bit more S right there. So Ferrari makes some changes to their floor, as well as we talked about. Carlos is going to take this grid penalty for the PU. And I already had told you all that Ferrari was running up against the rev limiter with the limits on their PU situation, and now they're taking these penalties. We spoke to it in a video earlier, and it just goes to show that these things are definitely happening, and it could impact their championship contentions, and we will see how that goes. They really need to dial in and try to get this car reliable, get this power unit reliable, and the drivers need to eliminate making as many mistakes, especially as Carlos made in the earlier part of the season. And that was not a good situation for him. The next thing we're going to go into is Aston Martin. Aston Martin, one of the recent teams we were quite surprised to find out that they had racial issues going on inside some of their teams, or in their garages, or in their shops, given that Aiden came out with his story. And very unfortunate. Seb usually is a very good representative against things like that. So it was kind of shocking for me not to hear that he had kind of came out with that beforehand, but it is what it is. Aston Martin floor edge, you'll see a small, basically a flap gurney or a flick just beyond that little notch, and it's going to be used for loading the floor. Okay, so the next team we're going to get into here is going to be BWT Alpine. All right, another manufacturer on the grid. Floor edge provides higher energy off body flow. Another upgrade to the floor fence. I'm telling you, like, it is fences galore this time around for updates. A lot of people are playing with these fences, and that is going to be improvement to the flow conditioning. Next team, which is the team by far that has the most upgrades in this GP, is McLaren, doing quite a bit of different things, and also running flow viz during the practice session, because this entire section right here has been changed, and they're wanting to see how that airflow is going. You can see on the lower part of the car how those streaks kind of go back. That's pretty much what they want to see, a good amount of airflow. If you have a lot of blotches, missed things, you might have air rumbling around, missing, not really flowing the way it should be. But as McLaren goes, rear wing end plate was modified. The Coke engine cover, new shape has been brought, aims to improving overall load on both axles, conjunction with the floor. Cooling louvers, additional cooling, of course. Floor body aims to improve overall load by the axles, and I'll flip through to see some of these next photos. Rear corner, very cooling mass flow for the brakes. Another rear corner, improved flow conditioning on the scoops, and cake engine cover. Additional cooling emergency options have been released. So these are things that McLaren has done, a total of 7, not an abundant amount. Williams had like 12. I want to say Williams had 12 like official upgrades on their list, and maybe a few more. So Williams thus far this season has been the team to bring the most upgrades during a GP period. Nobody has beat them yet, but McLaren does get the upgrades galore award this time around. Next team we have up is Williams. Okay, they abandoned the slim down side pile look for a moment there. I think both drivers still may be driving different variations, but Latifi did not get the new variation. Albon got it first. Latifi may have it now. I really didn't pay too much attention to Williams today. I will look closer to them tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure as things are seen that I will be looking for to see the pace, the distance between each drivers, given they have equal machinery up as far as upgrades are made. Will Latifi, will Albon be closer together, or will Albon pretty much prove himself to be the better driver? Crash Tifi has been pretty much impressing us thus far, like not really wrecking up the car. Maybe that was something that he needed to get his engine started, seeing that he is nearly on his way out of here, okay? So with that being said, front floor support allows the flexion of this area when it strikes a curb. This is something that we will not likely see unless we can get up under the car, but basically trying to improve the integrity of this floor. Cars have been running up on a curb. We've already seen several teams getting penalties for running over track limits. This GP, I'm telling you, the blue and red lines, don't let them fool you. They are there to slow these cars down, and they are tire eaters. Okay, several teams have ruined tires during FP1, FP2, and I don't know how far that's going to reach into their tire depot as far as their strategies when it comes up for the Grand Prix and even qualifying. But even qualifying in FP3, these teams could possibly run off track. And when you run off track, especially sideways going across these traps, they're ruining tires. And they're not tires that I think you could probably get back and probably heat knife them up and get them right again. I don't think that's going to be the case. So with that being said, Williams is basically the front floor support allows for more deflection on the striking of the curb, just offering them some more support up there. The next team, which probably is going to come in second for upgrades, is Ferrari. No, not Ferrari, but AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri has the floor body increased the local load over the general area. Also, the floor fences, like I said, several teams messing around with these fences, improves the interaction and management of the front wheel wake, the floor edge, maintain the loading of the forward floor. The diffuser, of course, allows diffusing to maintain more load. Cake Coke manages the front wheel wake before, therefore improving the quality of the flow. So once again, and as you can see, this graph up here showing you some of the color areas where some of these modifications may have taken place, these changes. You can see the front floor fence area, the mid floor area back there towards the rear back of the side pod, upper coke. So those are things that AlphaTauri has changed. And the next team we'll go to is Alfa Romeo, not doing much at all. They had one listed upgrade so far, rear corner, and just improving the flow management back there in that area. The next team that we're going to go to and the last team that we'll end up going to is Haas, and Haas hasn't done much at all. This is what pretty much Haas has done. They've messed around again with this front wing end plate, and as you can see, the yellow arrow indicates the change that was made after the first initial one, and you can kind of see that little dip back there, and it kind of curves back up, directing that airflow up. Well, they went to a more simple, I don't want to call it traditional, but definitely more simple, less complex design over here by the green arrow is the current one, and it just kind of flows right in. All right, so they've gotten rid of that flick and then that upward angle toward the back of that gurney flap or gurney or little winglet they would have on the end plate. So that is pretty much it. And also they opened up the panels for the louvers to get a little bit more cooling. I think this is going to be track specific. I don't know if this is something they're going to run beyond this. And there are quite a few other changes that are actually track specific among other teams. So now I'm waiting to see, is Ferrari going to get more reliable? 2, is Mercedes going to make up more pace to put them in the fight in these top 3 teams? And the top 3 teams or top 2 teams right now, 4 drivers, is going to be Red Bull and Ferrari with Max, Perez, Charles, and Carlos. So is Mercedes going to get Lewis and Russell up into that fight consistently moving forward? If so, then we wonder what would happen with the points game, as some points will be taken from other teams as they get in the mix. But I don't know if there's enough time or enough pace in the Mercedes to make a quick turnaround to actually put Lewis and or Russell in championship contentions, just being realistically right now. So, hey, we're going to be here all week. You know how you run it. Quality kickback, live watch along, come have a good time. We do, hey, shits and giggles, all that good stuff. We do have the bottle for the next podium on deck. As you see right here, the bottle that the members selected, I got it. Oh, it's glowing gold. It's not a game. If you know what it is, you know what it is. You see that logo on the front of the bottle, that medallion on the front of that bottle right there. Also, special announcements coming, and big shout out to all the members. I have made a note to mention you all by name, the ones who have leveled up. Several other members will be leveling up. And big shout out to everybody earning their VIP boxes, but somebody actually is going to get the tier 2 VIP bag. And I'm hoping to announce that I'm going to get to work on that so I can present it well before you. Come back, like, subscribe. Those are the updates. Those are the upgrades. Next, we're going to be in it. We're going to be in the shit tomorrow. We're in the slipstream tomorrow. We're all game full ahead. All right, peace. Thanks for tuning in and watching another video here at Wolfpack Performance. Check out some of my other content on Formula One issues, our topics, and our DIY products on how to customize your vehicle. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.